Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Vishta Mamaranar Pandyam Vande Veda Tanamujita Karita Kanchana Kamini Padham Murta Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Mishta Mama Naravanyam Murta Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Mishta Mama Naravanyam Kotibanu Singamau Kotibanu Karadipta Singamau Titata Kapinavadam Abirai Kunkarana Ditari Mukha Prachanda Tavanityam Murta Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Mishta Naravanyam Murta Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Mishta Naravanyam Bhukti Mukti Kripa Kataksha Prekshana Galatala Vidalana Daksham Palachandra Dharaminduvandyami Hanomi Guru Vivekanandam Murta Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Mishta Mamara Ravanyam Murta Maheshwara Mujjvala Bhaskara Mishta Mamara Naravanyam.
The worshipper has to be one with the worshipped. This is the principle of worship in the Eastern traditions. The body has to be purified and the life force has to be purified with pranayama. Then comes the identification with the worshipped by purification of the mind. It starts with thinking that you are the worshipper. Soham. And then to awaken the mystical centers in the body. Ang ring krong yang rang lang vang shang shang sang om hangsa Shri Krishna Devataya Sarvendriyani Ang ring krong yang rang lang vang shang shang sang om hangsa Shri Krishna Devataya prana iha prana Ang ring krong yang rang lang vang shang shang sang om hangsa Shri Krishna Devataya jiva iha stita Ang ring krong yang rang lang vang shang sang sang hong hangsa Shri Krishna Devataya vang manas chakshu shrotra grana prana iha gatyam sukam chiram tishtantu swaha. The worshipper has to think of oneself as divine, because the principle is only the divine can worship the divine. And this is the inner transformation that one has to do ritually. Next, we fixed all the mantras in all the various psychic centers in the body. Om asya matrika mantrasya brahma rishir gayatri chanda devi matrika saraswati alo bijani swara shaktaya avyaktam kilakam sarva vishta siddhi lipinyasi viniyoga Om brahmane rishaye namah Om Gayatri Chandase Namah Om Matrika Saraswati Devataya Namah Om Halvyo Bijebhyo Namah Om Swarebhyo Shaktibhyo Namah Om Avyaktam Kilakaya Namah. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Etad Gandhaya Namah Om Etad Adipataya Devaya Vishnave Namah Om Etat Sampradhanebhyo Pujaniya Devebhyo Namah. The idea is worship is Vishnu. That's the reason why we salute Vishnu. Vishnu is the all-pervading reality. And this is a cosmic, you can say, adoration of the divine. Next, we worship the universal consciousness. Then we worship all the gurus and all the gods and everything that is in the cosmos. Om Gurave Namaha Om Ganeshadi Panchadevatabhyo Namaha Om Ganganeshaya Namaha Om Suryaya Namaha Om Shivaya Namaha Om Narayanaya Namaha Om Durgaya Namaha Om Adityadi Navagrahebhyo Namaha Om Indradi Dashadikpalebhyo Namaha Om Kalyadi Dashamahavidyabhyo Namaha Om Matsyadi Dashavtarebhyo Namaha Om Akaradi Panchashadvarnebhyo Namaha Om Pratipadadititibhyo Namaha. Om Krishna Pakshaya Namaha. Om Shukla Pakshaya Namaha. Om Amavasyayai Namaha. Om Purnimayai Namaha. Next we worship Shiva, the Absolute. Aing Pramattam Shakti Sangyuktam Vanakyam Cha Mahaprabham Kamabananvitam Devam Samsara Dahanakshamam Shringaradi Rasaulasam Vanakyam Parameshwaram Evam Dhyatu Banalingam Yajetam Paramam Shivam. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. This is to protect from untimely death. Om Pita Devatabhyo Nama, Om Pita Shaktibhyo Nama, Om Shri Gaurye Namaha. Om Aing Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ram Krishnaya Nama, Om Om. This is to ward off every other elemental that could come and disturb the meditation. Meditate on Shri Ram Krishna first, then on Holy Mother, and then on Swamiji. Om Hridaya Kamala Madhye Rajitam Nirvikalpam Sada Sada Kila Bheda Titameka Swarupam Prakriti Vikriti Shunyam Nityamanandamurtim Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajama Nirupamamati Sukshmam Nishprapancham Niriham Gagana Sadrisham Isham Sarvabhutadivasam Trigunarahita Satchit Brahmarupam Varenyam Vimala Paramahamsam Ramakrishnam Bhajamaha. The meditation is on the impersonal, the universal and the personal aspects of Shri Ram Krishna. Om Gadadharaya Vidmahe Ram Krishnaya Vidmahe Gadadharaya Dhimahi Tanno Deva Prachodayat. Om. Next we have what is the union of the worshipper and the worshipped in the space of consciousness. This is a mystical worship and it has to be done silently. The idea is to merge the individual consciousness in the absolute consciousness and then separate yourself a little for the purposes of worship. Next, we purify the waters in the conch and bringing all the spiritual waters here and invoke the presence of the deity in the waters. Om Gange cha Jamane chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhum Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. Om Shri Ram Krishnaya Gacchaya Gacchayati Yatishthaya Tishtaya Sannidhaya Sannidhaya Sannirudasvaya Sannirudas Yasammuko Bhava Samyatra Adhishtanam Kuru Mama Pujam Grihanam. Om Etirganda Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ram Krishnaya Namaha. Om Etat Padyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ram Krishnaya Namaha. This was Shri Ram Krishna. Om Amritopastaranamasi Swaha. The food is converted to nectar. Om Etat Panarthudakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ram Krishnaya Swada. Om Panarachmaniyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ram Krishnaya Swada. Engangushtabhyam namo rang tarjani vasvam unmabdemam byam vaushat kringanamikabhyam kshan kanishtabhyam eng ram krital prishtabhyam astraya fat eng hridaya namo rang shirasay swahat mam shikaya vaushat kring kavachaya hum kshan netrabhyam vaushat eng ram krital prishtabhyam astraya fat. Om etat padyam sarvadeva devi swarupinya Shri Sharda Devai Namaha. The worship of the Holy Mother. Om etat gandha sarvadeva devi swarupinya Shri Sharda Devai Namaha. Om etat gandha pushpi sarvadeva devi swarupinya Shri Sharda Devai Namaha. Om eshadupa sarvadeva devi swarupinya Shri Sharda Devai Namaha. Om eshadeepa sarvadeva devi swarupinya Shri Sharda Devai Namaha. Om etam sopakam naivedyam sarvadeva devi swarupinya Shri Sharda Devai Nivedayami Vam Yang Rang. Om Amritopastaranamasi Swaha. Om Pranaya Swaha. Om Apanaya Swaha. Om Vyanaya Swaha. Om Udanaya Swaha, Om Samanaya Swaha. Om Amrita Pidanamasi Swaha. Om Idam Panartodakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupinne Shri Sharda Deve Namaha. Om Angushtabhyam Rang Tarjanibhyam Swamam Madhamabhyam Oshat Kringanamikabhyam Shankanishtabhyam Aim Ram Krishtabhyam Astrayafat Aim Hridayanama Rang Shirase Swahamam Shikaya Oshat Kring Kavachayam Kshannitrabhyam Oshat Aim Ram Krishtabhyam Astrayafat. Offerings to Swami Vivekananda. Om Vishvacharya Jagadvandyam Vivekananda Rupinam Vireshwarat Samutpannam Saptarishi Mandalagatam Jnana Bhakti Pradatam Padma Gaura Vigraham Dhyayet Devam Jyoti Punjam Loka Kalyanakarinim. Om Dhyanamagnam Narayanam Saptarishi Mandalagatam Tapta Jiva Uddharanartam Tyakta Samadhi Harsham Vireshwaram Shivakaram Padmaksham Gaurasundaram Narendram Mati Dayaluptam Ramakrishna Sunandanam Abhinavashankarasya Chaitanya Hrit Bhushitam Yatirajam Jagadgurum Samanvaya Pradipakam Namami Dinartha Bandhum Kripa Sindhum Mamashrayam Shri Ram Krishna Parshadam Vivekananda Swaminam. Om Etasmai Rajatasanaya Namaha. Om Etagandhapushpe Rajatasanaya Namaha. Om Etagandhavadipate Devaya Vishnave Namaha. Om Etadipate Sampradhanebhyo Pujaniya Devebhyo Namaha. Yasya darshanam ichanti deva swabhishta siddhaye tasmai te parameshana swagatam swagatam prabhu. Adya me safalam janma jivanam safala kriya swagatam yatva tanme tapasam phalamagatam. Om Aing Srimad Vivekanandaya Namaha. Om Eshudupa Sarvadeva Devi Swarupinye Shicharda Deve Nama. Om Etaganda Pushpe Vivekananda Adi Saparshadebhyo Namaha. Om Esha Deva Vivekanandadis Parshadebhyo Namaha Vivekanandas Virishwaraya Namaha. These are the various offerings to Vivekananda. Om Idam Sopakarna Naivedyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Sri Ram Krishnaya Svada. Om Idam Sopakarna Naivedyam Aing Vivekananda Adiya Ram Krishna Parshadaya Namaha. Om Amritopastaranamasi Swaha. Om Idam Panartvadakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarup Sri Ram Krishnaya Parshadaya Vivekananda Adi Namaha. Om Namah Yatirajaya Vivekananda Rupine Satchitsukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Jai Swami Vivekananda Maharaj ki Jai. We can give it for the flower offering. Take one, they say. Give one.
It's going to extinguish it.
I'll do.
Flowers to be offered now, Maharaj?
Yes, you hold it. I'll just repeat a mantra, and then we can you return it. Yeah. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya. Vivekananda Rupinam. Vivekananda Satchit Sukha Swarupaya. Satchit Sukha Swarupaya. Swami Netapaharine. Swami Netapaharine. Om. 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 Srimad Vivekananda Swami Idam Pushpam Samarpayami. Yes, you pray to him and return the flowers to Brahmatmananda, and he will offer it to Swamiji.
We often just let them come.
Oh, yeah, that will be.
Let them
be,
do that.
Yeah.
Is better. We put it. Bring it down.
Oh.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
That's usually so it's easy for them. Actually, let's put it here.
Yeah.
So please come one at a time. I mean, you can form a little line and offer
Yeah.
flowers.
Come.
Pick what time you like. You can use both.
Yeah. Say your prayer, your silent prayers, that which you wish. This is on. Okay. That's okay. You start the reading. I'll come in 5 minutes. I'll be there.
I'm going to be reading for a moment from Vivekananda, his biography. Swami Vivekananda, the great soul, loved and revered in East and West alike, as the rejuvenator of Hinduism in India and the preacher of its eternal truths abroad, was born at 6:49, a few minutes before sunrise, on Monday, January 12, 1863. It was the day of the great Hindu festival, Makara Sankranti, when special worship is offered to the Ganges by millions of devotees. Thus, the future Vivekananda first drew breath when the air above the sacred river, not far from the house, was reverberating with the prayers, worship, and religious music of thousands of Hindu men and women. While Vivekananda was still in his mother's womb, she, like many other pious Hindu mothers, had observed religious vows, fasted, and prayed, so that she might be blessed with a son who would do honor to the family. She requested a relative who was living in Benares to offer special worship to Vireshwara Shiva of that holy place and seek his blessings. For Shiva, the great god of renunciation, dominated her thought. One night she dreamt that this supreme deity aroused himself from his meditation and agreed to be born as her son. When she woke, she was filled with joy. The mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, accepted the child as a boon from Vireshwara Shiva and named him Vireshwara. The family, however, gave him the name of Narendranath Datta, calling him for short Narendra, or more endearingly, Naren. The Datta family of Calcutta, into which Narendranath had been born, was well known for its affluence, philanthropy, scholarship, and independent spirit. The grandfather, Durgacharan, after the birth of his first son, had renounced the world in search of God. The father, Vishwanath, an attorney at law of the High Court of Calcutta, was versed in English and Persian literature, and often entertained himself and his friends by reciting from the Bible and the poetry of Hafiz, both of which he believed contained truths unmatched by human thinking elsewhere. He was particularly attracted to the Islamic culture, with which he was familiar because of his close contact with the educated Muslims of northwestern India. Moreover, he derived a large income from his law practice, and unlike his father, thoroughly enjoyed the worldly life. An expert in cookery, he prepared rare dishes and liked to share them with his friends. Travel was another of his hobbies. Although agnostic in religion and a mocker of social conventions, he possessed a large heart and often went out of his way to support idle relatives, some of whom were given to drunkenness. Once, when Narendra protested against this lack of judgment, the father said, "How can you understand the great misery of human life? When you realize the depths of men's suffering, You will sympathize with these unfortunate creatures who try to forget their sorrows, even though only for a short while, in the oblivion created by intoxicating drink. Naren's father, however, kept a sharp eye on his children and would not tolerate the slightest deviation from good manners. During his childhood, Narendra, like many other Hindu children of his age, developed a love for the Hindu deities, of whom he had learnt from his mother, particularly attracted to the heroic story of Rama and his faithful consort Sita. He procured their images, bedecked them with flowers, and worshipped them in his boyish fashion. But disillusionment came when he heard someone denounce marriage vehemently as a terrible bondage. When he had thought this over, he discarded Rama and Sita as unworthy of worship. In their place, he installed the image of Shiva, the god of renunciation, who was the ideal of the yogis. Nevertheless, he retained a fondness for the Ramayana.
Om Shanti
Shanti Shanti.
A few words on this particular reading. He was born on Shankranti, that is when the sun enters the constellation Capricorn. That's a day, it's a very sacred day. There are 12 such movements of the sun. So on this day, the sun is worshipped, the Ganga is worshipped, and it signifies change from one place to another. That's a movement. And his birth itself heralded a kind of a movement. Now, movement of the people's lives to a higher ideal. So on this day, people were worshipping, they were bathing in the Ganga, praying to Shiva, and this child was born. And as we have seen, he was named Vireshwara, the Lord of the Heroes. That's the name of Shiva. So his relative used to worship Shiva every Monday in Benares. When he was born, Sri Ramakrishna saw a streak of light emerging from Benares and coming down to Calcutta. And he sees that, he's saying, my man has come. And he waited for Swami Vivekananda for 25 years. He's saying his heart was torn, it was wrung. He's saying he used to use a towel and saying, my heart was wrung, as it were. He was waiting for Swami Vivekananda. And the world was waiting for Swami Vivekananda, not only he. There was a time when everything needed to change. Sri Ramakrishna represented that ancient India, steeped with meditation and prayers and fasting, and Vivekananda represented the new India, the dynamic India, that took the best of the old and yet looked at the future with promise and hope and with great energy. So this was the great meeting of these two great, remarkable personalities, and this was the Shankranti, the change. In India we say, only the heroes enjoy the earth. So it is called Vasudhaiva, and they say Veera Bhogya Vasundhara. It's only the brave, only the heroic can really enjoy the world. only the heroic can be really moral. And Swami Vivekananda says only the heroic can be virtuous also. He's saying the word Veera, if you derive it, it comes from an old Veer, and the word virtue is also a derivative of that Veera, heroism. And he always insisted that my children, my followers need to be heroic. And he disliked weaknesses of every kind. So that was the hero. Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, there comes my hero, he used to say. When I am with him, I feel great strength. Sri Ramakrishna saying, I feel great strength. Now in Joseph Campbell's works, especially The Hero with 1,000 Faces, we find the hero myth repeated over and over and over across all cultures, all religions, all mythology. It is nothing but a hero worship. Swami Vivekananda, he used to worship the great hero Rama. There it was. So it was the hero. And these tales of heroism were passed from generation to generation. The gods were heroic, the goddesses were heroic, and their deeds were heroic. And you find the entire religion based on heroism. So Joseph Campbell was a great, you can say, scholar, and he did remarkable work. He was well versed in all the mythologies. So he gave a beautiful scheme that all mythology and all hero worship follows a pattern. And the pattern is, the first there's the status quo. That's the beginning. And then there's a call to advance. And then assistance comes to that person. After receiving assistance, the person departs. He or she undergoes trials, and as they approach towards those greater and greater trials, there is a great crisis. And this is a kind of a death of the old person and the rebirth of the old person. That person, the old person dies and a new person is born. He attains or she attains the treasure. And then comes to the result of the treasure. And then the person returns. And a new life begins and then returns to the status quo. Now if you look, just for a mental imagery, starts with 12 o'clock, the status quo. And then the call to action or advance is 3 o'clock. And then slowly assistance comes at 6 o'clock. And then the departure, 9 o'clock. And trials and approach comes later, and crisis comes again at 12 o'clock. And then again 15 hours and 18 hours. So if you look at the clock, it is a kind of a pattern. At each stage of the hero's journey is this great, you can say, going forward. You can bring out any mythology. So I've decided to use this as the status quo. Swami Vivekananda, he starts. You've seen his early life, what it was. His parents were rich, but then his father died and everything collapsed. But he was called to advance because there was the greater call of the spirit. He used to meditate in the very beginning when he was a child, and he used to ask people, have you seen God? Have you seen God? That kind of took charge of him. Then he comes to Sri Ramakrishna, that is his assistance. And he learns from Sri Ramakrishna. Under the discipleship, Sri Ramakrishna is saying, Swami Vivekananda says that test me because I have tested my teacher and I know every inch of the way. So for 7 years, Sri Ramakrishna tested him, and Swami Vivekananda tested his guru. Oh yes, that's it. People open their mouth and take the guru in and don't do anything. That's not a guru. That's not a disciple. So after he receives that great help, assistance from the guru, there's a great departure. And the departure is he has to now embody all what his guru has taught him, all that great spirituality. And his departure was also to expand himself. He was now not only concerned with his own family. His family was starving by that time. He himself used to starve for days. But he had a greater calling, a greater idea. And that was, first he had to embody himself as in the national consciousness, India. So he had to travel the whole of India to understand. And then, as we know, he traveled the world to understand the world. He embodied national and international consciousness. That's what made Swami Vivekananda Vivekananda. He is not a small time guy in a small time place. No, he expanded himself into that global consciousness. You've seen how he traveled from here, from Calcutta to Colombo to Singapore and then to Malaysia and all these places, and he kept on traveling. He was embodying all this consciousness. And then the trials come, Even some of his own brother disciples go against him. He was criticized. And there was a time when he never wanted to preach. Sri Ramakrishna says, "You rascal, your very bones will preach. Go." And he did that. There was a part of him that wanted to get steeped in meditation. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "I thought you were a great banyan tree that will give shelter to everybody. But I see you're so selfish, wanting your own samadhi." So he learned all these things from his guru. And as we know, that at the highest peak of his experiences, he came, and Swami Advaitananda, he ran to Sri Ramakrishna, he's saying, "Naren is dead." So Sri Ramakrishna said, "Don't worry, he's been pestering me for that for a long time. Let him stay in it for a long time." And when he came out of that highest state of consciousness, he's asking Advaitananda, his brother, "Where's my body? Where's my body?" So Advaitananda is pressing his limbs and saying, "Yeah, sir." He wasn't aware. So he went through all this, and then Sri Ramakrishna brought him out of it. He's saying that this will be locked for you. The key will be with me. I will open it only after you do my work. And this was how he received that great treasure. And then there's a kind of a going forward. He goes forward. He preaches his master's message because he knew that this was the time for great changes. And these changes on the spiritual plane are very slow and subtle, and they keep on going over, but they leave a permanent mark. Then the hero returns to the world, but his perception is completely changed. He or she is not the old person. Comes with fresh life, fresh ideas, and a great outlook of what he will do for the world. And Swami Vivekananda was very clear. When he understood his mission, says, "I have a message for the West," like Buddha had a message for the East. He was now very clear what his mission, what his work was to be. And then he comes back, he returns, but that's the difference between the first status quo and the second status quo. That transformation has taken place not only within himself, but he has transformed everybody around. And this transformation is still going on. gradually. Blessed are we that we have come in the ambit of these great changes. We don't realize how fortunate we are. And today his worship, there was a time when he was asked, saying, he was told, who will listen to you? And he got red in the face. One of his brother disciples, who is going to listen to you? He got red in the face. And he tells Raja Maharaj, Swami Vivekananda, look, what this guy is saying, what this patient is saying. He's a kid, what does he know? The world will listen to you. And like a child is saying, there you see, Raja Maharaj has said, the world will listen to me. And today it's come true, the world is listening. So he has removed of all the esoteric, the mystical, the sadness, the kind of the secrecy in religion, and made it an open, broad path for all of us to walk. And he has come specially for the poor. He's saying he understood what poverty was. Yes, grinding poverty. And then when he went around, he also saw poverty all around. And he worked all through to bring this about. His whole idea of starting the order and everything was nothing but this, the lifting up of humanity. So today we will, as we say a silent prayer for this great soul who came all for us. Let us close our eyes for a few moments and offer our prayers to him. He says, let me be born again and again and suffer thousands of miseries so that I can worship the only God I believe, the only God I know, the sum total of all souls. And above all, my God, the wicked, my God, the miserable, my God, the poor, of all races, of all species, is a special object of my worship. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. We have a closing songs.
Yeah, if you know the song, it's Vivekananda, the Lion-Hearted Man.
Okay. So there's a book also there. You can see the page number.
It'll be page 79.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of books?
Yeah.
If somebody can help distribute some of these books?
Yeah.
Wait, then.
I know.
What's the page number?
79.
I don't know if you have it up to go around, but if you can share. You can have one more, right?
He has come from the Master and received his grace. He has spoken to the Pure One and has seen his face. He has traveled across the ocean with the truth in his heart and has spread the holy word across the land. Vivekananda, the lion-hearted man. Vivekananda, there's no one braver than. Vivekananda, eternally true, and we praise him forevermore. He has wandered through the mountains declaring the truth, a soldier of religion throughout all his youth, pointed out the goal with the sign of the Lord, and has spread the Master's word across the land. Vivekananda, the lion-hearted man. Vivekananda, there's no one braver than. Vivekananda, eternally true, and we praise him forevermore. And although no longer with us, he is still in our heart. A message still remains from the very start. Stand up and be strong, cast aside doubt and fear, and the world is slowly spreading across the land. Vivekananda, the lion-hearted man. Vivekananda, there's no one braver than. Vivekananda, eternally true, and we praise him forevermore. And we praise him forevermore. And we praise him forevermore. If anyone would like to sing a song, harmonium or some other instrument.
Raj, I can lead this. There's lots, I think there's a few Bengalis here too who will know. I can do a few
You can
Vivekananda
sing a song.
songs.
We'll join you.
Yeah. This is the Ramdam book, right?
Yeah.
For Ben. It's going to be for me, whose knees don't bend. Let's see if I'm going to do this down here. Okay, in the Indian song section, there's a few Vivekananda songs back to back. Let's find them. Yeah. Which page? 38. 38. Let's see. Hold on. I'm not 20 years old anymore. 38. The translation's on the other side for those who aren't going to sing. You can see. Wait, no. Jaya Vire Shara Vivekananda Sara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Jaya Vire Shara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Sundara Lochana Vishamana Bachira Vando Jaya Vireshara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Prema Padala Dala Kanti Shubhimala Arigata Veda Vedanta
Vivedesha Tapasya Ujala Prema Talo Talo Kanti Shubhimala Arigata Veda Veda Tagati Tisha Tapasya Ujala Jaya Vireshara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Jaya Vireshara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Karma Bhakti Gana Trishula Dharana Chetana Jiva Mohabandhu Karma Bhakti Gana Trishula Dharana Chetana Jiva Mohabandhu Brahma Parayana Namo Narayana Dehi Dehi Charanarabindo Brahma Parayana Namo Narayana Dehi Dehi Charanarabindo Jaya Vireshara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Jaya Vireshara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda Indu Vivana no Shuntaru Lochana Ishamana Bochira Bando Jaya Vireshara Viveka Bhaskara Jaya Jaya Sri Vivekananda. About Murta, what page? 30. Oh, okay, that's fine. Not there. Page 30. We're doing okay time-wise, huh? Yeah. All right. I'm going to drop it down. I don't think anyone can sing that high.
He said to come up and sing. So.
Yeah. You could. Okay. Murta Maheshwara Mujwala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Anyaham Murta Maheshwara Mujwala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Anyaham Vande Veda Tanu Mujita Karita Kanchana Kamini Padam Murta Maheshwara Mujwala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Anyaham Murta Maheshwara Mujala Paskara Mishtama Maranara Anyam Kutiban Karadipta Singamaha Kutiban Karadipta Singamaha Katitata Kopina Bandam Abira Murta Maheshwar Murchala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Vanyam Murta Maheshwar Murchala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Vanyam Mukti Mukti Kripa Kataksha Prekshan Mukti Mukti Kripa Kataksha Prekshana Pagarala Vidalan Dakshan Balacha Tratarame Devan Miha no mi Guru Vivekananda Murta Maheshwar Mujala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Anyam Murta Maheshwar Mujala Bhaskara Mishtama Maranara Vanyam.
Thank you very much, Brother Brahmatmananda. Thank you all for being here and taking some of that holiness with you. And as usual, we have prasad. Please go along with the prasad. Those who would like to eat it here can go down to the basement, then the dining hall. And you're free now to love and serve the Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.